Hello, my name is Lola, and I'm going to react to old Crash Bandicoot 2 by Caddicarus. I don't really know much about this game other than I've heard some people say that it's better than the first Crash Bandicoot video game. And let's see what Caddy has to say about it. And if you want to like, comment, subscribe my channel, you can, or if you don't want to, it's fine too. Here we go.
Greetings and salutations, my beautiful people, and welcome to the Caddicarus show, where I always have to do the dirty deed of deciding whether or not a game deserves to be slaughtered or salvaged. Oh, silly me. These aren't my real guns. These are just the paper things that my girlfriend's youngest daughter made me. That's cute, but that's not gonna kill anybody. I need the real thing.
To kill people.
And welcome to the kind of continuation from my Crash Bandicoot 1 revisiting, straight onto Crash Bandicoot 2 Cortex Strikes Back. Don't worry, it's a prop! And if you want to see the first video I did on Crash Bandicoot 1, then go straight back in the description and go and see it, because you'll also find out why I'm revisiting this beloved PS1 franchise in the first place. I've already done videos about these guys before. And also, it's another thing from me to watch if you haven't seen it. I don't know, what the fuck do you want from me? And without further ado, let's keep talking about Cash Banuka.
What's that? Who is that? What's that? Are you talking about me?
Crash 1 was in its day a PS1 revolution, and one that not only got an entire new audience with the Sony toilet seat, but also sold unbelievably well. And yeah, I think the game is dated beyond belief, but I'm so happy that it did well, because in just over a year after the original, one of the best sequels was ever released. Cash Banuka 2 Gringotts Steakhouse. But how good was this game? Well, I don't need to tell you, I'll just let one of the trailers do it for you.
Wow, that was intense! Woo! I just flew in from the new ruins level, and boy, are my arms tired!
Oh my fucking god.
Oh, thank you very much, my man. Thank you very much. That was funny stuff. Wow, funny stuff.
Stop! Stop! Crash, stop!
And now, I have to do it again!
I'm sorry, but I just don't get this. Take
I
a
don't
character
either.
with no voice at all, give him a voice, and make him Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Whoa! Good thing I'm not wearing tight pants, because they would have ripped for sure. Woo!
Good thing I'm wearing this cushion, because my eardrums would have burst for sure.
Woo! I am not an animal. I am Crash Bandicoot. Woo! Ha ha!
Moving on.
Crash 2 took all of the fundamentals from the first game and all of the basic mechanics, such as the Aku Aku hit point and invincibility system, different kinds of boxes to break, Wumpa fruit, spinning and jumping on enemies and boxes, and the same kinds of right angular yet flowing level designs. Yet it tweaked everything from the controls, speed of the gameplay, content and obstacles within the level designs, visuals and soundtrack to make it 100 times more satisfying and snappy than the first, and make it feel like a proper evolution from what 1 had established. So there's a new game with a new budget and new fans, meaning there's new things other than tweaked gameplay, and one of the newer things this time is a deeper story with full voice acting and a couple of cutscenes, apart from Crash, of course, who, if he opens his mouth,
He's back!
needs to be put down. And the story begins right after Crash 1, with Cortex falling from his hoverboard after Crash beats him and he falls straight into the islands from the first game. And that is, of course, assuming you actually fought him in the first game, because if you got all the gems, then you missed his boss battle and escaped with Torna without ever touching him. So I guess in that case, he just fell out of his ship one day, I don't know. And he ends up landing in a temple where crystals are buried, to which he has a realization to himself and says,
Crystals. Of course.
Of course, what?
Did he turn into Homer Simpson? What the hell happened?
Well, I'm sorry that I upset you, Cortex.
apparently this actually means Cortex can use the crystals to repower his space station and take over the world, but in order to do that, he needs someone to help him, and with his animal army disbanded after Crash brutally slaughtered them. Although Ripperoo comes back in this game, so maybe there's something else a bit fishier going on here.
Meanwhile,
Crash and his sister Coco are chilling out when she sends Crash off to grab a new battery for her laptop when he's unexpectedly taken away by none other than Cortex himself, who then tells Crash that he needs him to get all these crystals in order to save the world from being destroyed by an old colleague of his, Brio. But you know, on the account of him stealing my girlfriend and trying to kill us multiple times in the last game, and this game being subtitled Cortex Strikes Back, I'm not even slightly trusting him, and I'm just gonna do nothing. Yeah, no boxes, no bloody crystals. See how you like that, fathead? Oh, look at that, a blue gem. That's a pretty cool secret.
no, Crash. I said bring me the crystals! Now, get
Ah,
back
gee.
in there.
Well, geez, sorry. But not really, I'm gonna do it all again and not get the crystal.
No, no, Crash. To save the world, I need crystals. Crystals!
Okay, fine. Fucking hell. Yeah, the thing with this story is that even though it isn't the focus, so it isn't a huge issue, it could have been way better by just doing one thing. Not telling the audience what Cortex's plans were before we even see Crash. I'm not joking here. After he falls from the sky, we see him with the crystals and then him talking to new character Engine about how he needs an enemy's help to grab the remaining crystals and rebuild his station. So from the very start, there's no mystery whatsoever. Then when Brio comes in telling you to grab the gems instead of the crystals to beat Cortex, you believe him immediately and you know that everything Cortex says is all lies from the start. If only they hadn't revealed his plan straight away, you could have thought that he had turned a new leaf and he could have pitted you against Brio much easier. And every time that Coco intercepts to tell Crash that Cortex is lying wouldn't be completely pointless and redundant, because then we wouldn't actually know who to trust until the big reveal happens and it turns out the bosses were all sent by Brio trying to stop Crash from delivering the crystals to Cortex, and it could have been a lot better, honestly. But like I said, it's not a focus, luckily. It just pisses me off because everything here is completely redundant. We know that he's lying, so why the hell would we control someone who doesn't think that he's lying? Now, even though it's still fun and entertaining, the story isn't why you're here. The game truly shines with how it plays. Like I said, all the fundamentals and ideas from Crash 1 were here, but it was not only tighter to play with much less heavy control and dopey jumping, but the level designs took every step towards fixing and expanding what 1 already had. It was the same basic game, linear 3D platforming stages based in the wild and industrial locations with a splicing of corridors and side-scrolling with a big variety of obstacles and enemies to jump and spin through before reaching the end, yet the levels were more densely compacted with stuff along with the newly added crystals that you need to get to carry on. There's more things going on here and more things to avoid and more things to think about when approaching them and split decisions to make when in the middle of engaging whatever it is that you've approached. And the tighter controls and more responsive jumping made it all a lot more fast-paced. There's a lot less waiting, planning, and terror than in Crash 1, and a lot more action, more doing things. But that doesn't mean you aren't playing a totally different game. Look, there's still the bonus games that you don't need to find tokens with or complete to save the damn game along with grabbing a gem. You just hop on the platform and zip straight to it to tally up your total box count for the gem on that stage and grab a ton of lives on your way to do it. Not to mention get a variation of music based on what gorgeous area you were exploring. My only real question is, where's Torna in any of these? Save her life in the first game and she can't even be fucked to come back and support her boyf. What a cow. Oh, and yes, I did say earlier that you don't need to finish a bonus stage or get a gem to save the damn game, because in a stunning revelation, you can save anywhere you want to, whenever you want to, my bloomin' badger! And you could save the game in the Warp Room, the central hub, a new addition to the Crash formula. It's very sad how you no longer feel like you're going on a giant quest as you travel on an island from one stage to another, but to be honest, it is completely compensated with the ability to pick how you want to progress every 5 stages, in any order that you want to, without being stuck on one stage forever. And have a compact and faster way of revisiting older stages without needing to go on a fucking marathon. Also, with all the new locations from the deepest reaches of space to the dankest of sewers, I guess it wouldn't make much sense to have it all play out in one cohesive manner.
And for all of the new stuff, wow, where do I even start? The beginning, probably.
Visually, it's sharper and more detailed than ever before. I especially love the footprints on the snow, Crash's breath in the cold air, spotlights following each character in Tiny's boss stage, and this creeper head that follows you and breathes fire.
They must have eaten a barbecue for lunch.
In keeping to the original Naughty Dog plan of making an interactive Warner Brothers cartoon character to play as, Crash also has more of a personality now without needing to speak, by performing new idle animations, new running animations like when escaping from the boulder, and a few new death animations which are rather joyous to watch, especially in the polar bear stages. Along with the tightening of the controls, there's also the new moves Crash has and the new level styles. The pig stages have changed into the much faster and tighter polar bear rides, which are 1,000 times more fun to play and a lot less jerky, and the jetpack stages, which I hear people complain about all the time and say that they're stupidly hard to control, but look, it's a little stiff, I guess, but really, everyone, it's not that hard. For the new moves, Crash can monkey swing in the stages that need it and dig underground to shield himself in the stages that need it. But for every stage that it could apply, Crash could now crawl. And the crawl itself isn't 100% useful, but the slide when you crouch while running and the following slide jump you can perform for extra height and distance is so useful. Almost like the long jump from Mario 64, in that you can get really good with it and bypass platforming challenges as a reward for mastering it. And if you haven't mastered it yet, the game itself itself endorsed it as a central mechanic, with bonus stages encouraging or forcing you to use it with no risk of losing lives, because you don't lose any lives on a bonus challenge. And every stage slowly introducing it as an easier or more efficient or effective way to progress if you are brave enough to risk it. It also just feels good to do, so shut it. Oh, and by the way, in case you want it, analog control is now a thing, not only allowing full speed and free movement control of Crash with walking and 360-degree turning, but you can also quickly switch from the joystick to D-pad straight away for a natural transition from 2D segments to 3D. You know what else is a natural transition? This soundtrack. Do I need to talk about the soundtrack here again? It's one of my favorite PS1 soundtracks of all time, and I've talked about it more than I have any right to, so instead let's insert my top 20 video segment here. The branching paths even come back and are indeed back with a vengeance. They're in a lot of stages this time, and most of the time they're alright, but in other stages like the pits, the pits. Gross. The backtracking is a little ridiculous since the camera doesn't move back far enough for you to see what's coming up towards the edge of the screen. And I know this isn't a limitation because the returning boulder chases nail the camera angle, so what's going on here exactly? With the camera angle being the way it is, the game would have been way better without it, or just fix the camera angle, I mean, fuck's sake. Anyway, crystals were new and gems came back by needing to break every crate in the stage, including these new horrific nitro crates that explode the second you touch them. Look at how evil they are, damn. And to destroy them, you needed to hit these green exclamation crates, and it's immensely satisfying.
Yes, that's for giving me so much shit, you fucking Grinch boxes!
But even though you don't need to worry about dying once to attempt a gem run, and all box breaks are saved up until your most recent checkpoint, thank fucking god, it isn't actually easier to get them in this game. There are a ton more gems this time around, a minimum of 1 per stage for sure, but most of them now have 2 per stage. Some are the coloured gems that allow you access to other hidden routes and other levels, which give you more boxes to break to get the gems from that level, and some are now just more grey gems that are secretly hidden away. And the coloured gems are secret enough. I mean, to get this one here, you need to find a secret exit in a totally unrelated stage and then beat the challenge that you're given, and then with the blue gem you saw me get earlier, you need to do stage 1 without hitting a single box. But with the other random gems, there's a load of other ways to get them. One of the ways is with the new death routes, the substitute prize for not dying in a stage. If you reach it without dying once, you get given an ultra hard route to complete that not only has more boxes to break for the level gem, but also rewards you with another grey gem for beating it. Awesome additional challenge and an awesome added reward for definite, and a lot cooler of a reward for not dying than being able to reach a box counting screen and potentially even save your damn game. And the other way is through the secrets, and my god, the secrets are literally everywhere. You can get hidden warp pads to a hidden warp room which takes you back to old levels but on a death route in order for you to either get a normal or coloured gem. You get wall clipping secrets, secret holes to fall into, secret timed races to the end of a level that don't show up unless you're quick enough to make it that far to show up. They're literally everywhere. And I've also heard people complain that they're a little too hidden, but to be honest, the level of detail in Crash 2 is so high that I think it's pretty obvious which areas or warp pads are secret, apart from of course not hitting a box in stage 1 for a blue gem. I got that by complete accident when I was little. I don't know, you can just tell in Crash 2 when something doesn't look right or looks off, or when it wants you to try exploiting something in the game. Like, why would all of these nitro crates be here if nothing was behind them? Why would there be a small staircase of nitro boxes here if you can't touch the nitro boxes in the first place? Why is this the only bridge in the bear and boulder chases that doesn't fully break when they fall down? It's very subtle, but subtle enough that you feel like a genius for figuring it all out, and it's way deeper and more engaging optional and replayable content than what Crash 1 has. Also, looky here in the secret warp room, the old islands from Crash 1. It's cute. And the multiple endings are back with every gem needed to help Brio blow up Cortex once and for all. As a kid, this was a way cooler ending than Crash 1's hidden stupid ending, but still, worth it? I don't know. The challenge is a lot more fun to 100%, but I do think it needed a little bit more for a great ending to make it all feel worth it. The secrets even extend to the warp room, where you get rewarded with a shit ton of lives for jumping on a baby polar bear's head. I never thought animal abuse would be so encouraged on the PS1. Look here, even when running away from a bigger bear, the game still makes you kill a few of them for your selfish ends. Even to the point of them trying to save their baby that you stole from them, and you responding by just dropping them down a hole like fucking Mufasa. I honestly don't get all of this polar bear torture, it's kind of horrible.
Tubby little tubby all stuffed with fluff.
Oh, bloody hell, not again. What are you going to do to that bear, Crash? Oh, God, no, you wouldn't. No, Crash, think about it. Think of the consequences. Don't do it, man, don't do it.
Oh, but if you want me to talk about something I really don't like in this game, the ice physics. Oh my god, I tell you, the fucking ice physics, man. For some reason, they are so... Oh!
For some reason, and I have no idea why, but Crash 2 has some of the heaviest ice physics I've ever played in a video game. So heavy and so momentum carrying that if you hit a stationary metal block at high speeds, when you jump without pressing any direction after you hit the block, Crash veers off to whatever side he was carrying the momentum. It's so easy to pick up speed, but nearly impossible to slow down. It's hard to steer, and all of this wouldn't be a problem. I mean, it is ice, except some of the stages are coated in ice from the start to the end, including the horrific death route in Cold Hard Crash that requires going back and forth through the entire ice-based level with insta-kill nitro gas everywhere multiple times to finish. Oh, and the bosses? Much better than before, but again, meh. Ripperoo comes back and is way more aggressive than Crash 1, with him planting TNT and nitro crates haphazardly before blowing himself up. A cool concept, and loads of people panic as soon as it starts and die quite a few times, but it's easy enough for a first boss once you get it. The Komodo Bros were a fucking joke, and most of the boss involves standing still. Yeah, I'm very threatened. Tiny Tiger is another awesome concept and involves a lot of moving, and he's kind of like Ripperoo from Crash 1 with the stage layout and how he jumps around, but with you needing to lure him into falling platforms. Only problem with this is that it can take a long time if you aren't quick enough to know what's going on. Engine is the best boss bar none, but still not that amazing. His patterns are a little bit too slow and easy to read, and he takes a little bit too long if you ask me. And to be honest, if his giant flying mech suit can be destroyed with fucking Wumpa Fruit being thrown at it, then he needs to seriously reconsider his battle strategies. And Cortex is the worst Crash boss ever. Yes, worse than Papu Papu because at least he can fucking hit you. All you do is fly towards him, avoid rocks and mines, and hit him 3 times before he reaches the end of the track, and you have to keep trying until you do it, and it's total shit. It's total shit. But then what can you expect when your final boss is Mr. Krabs? No, I'm not joking. That's Clancy Brown doing Cortex's voice. It's fucking Mr. Krabs.
I don't care about the children. I just care about their
I didn't know
money.
that.
But to sum up, Crash 2 is exactly how Crash describes it right here. He's great. It's one of the most polished and excellent sequels to any games I've ever played, so much so that if you haven't played Crash before, you could definitely skip 1 and go straight into this one. Compared to Crash 1 on subtle mechanical differences, it often feels like a totally different damn game, and one that I can recommend wholeheartedly. It's faster, it's prettier, it's smoother, it has many surprises hidden up its sleeves, it's tighter, it's crazier, and it's awesome. Awesomer. Yeah.
And so to conclude, Crash Bandicoot 2 Cortex Strikes Back gets the sound. Actually, you know what? No. Where the fuck are my paper guns gone? And so, Crash Bandicoot 2 Gringotts Steakhouse gets the salvage. Well done. You did good. And if it's your birthday today watching this video, happy frickin' birthday to you. Please remember to stay beautiful, and please remember that if you can't do the jetpack bits in Crash Bandicoot 2, then you're probably terrible at video games.
Hey everybody, and thanks so much for watching this video. But before the outtakes come on, so please stay tuned for that, they will be on in a second, I'd just like to thank all of my Patreon supporters, all on the screen right now. All of you have supported the show in ways you cannot imagine. You're all thank you, even if you consider doing it. It means the world to me. So thanks so much everybody, and here's the outtakes for you.
Subscribe.
And also, it's also another video for you to watch of me if you haven't seen it. And it's... And if you want to see the video I did on Crash Bandicoot 1 last week, then go straight back into the description and find it, because you'll also be able to find... And so, Crash Bandicoot 2 Gringotts Steakhouse gets the salvage.
Come on!
Did you forget what to do?
Yeah. I completely forgot!
Should you try that again, yeah? Bloody shirt. The fucking ice physics, let me tell you. For some reason, I don't remember the script, so I'm gonna do a dance.
Yeah, it does. Honestly, yeah, it does look a lot better than the first game. Honestly, not gonna lie, he is right about that. Yeah, and that's my reaction to Old Crash Bandicoot 2 by Caddicarus. Everyone, take care of yourselves and each other, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.